Moving on from our drive modes by coming back into home here, let's go over to our media section where we have all our music. So clicking into media, this here is going to be your home screen for it. And essentially, just below the top here where it says play, these are going to be all your different sources. The three little dots on the far right here that I'm clicking on, this is going to be kind of the comprehensive list of all the sources you can listen to. So as you can see, like you're going to have your standard FM radio, the online radio, that's going to be one of your online functions that your My Porsche account and the embedded SIM card in the vehicle provide for you. You're going to have your Sirius XM if you like to listen to that. And as well as that, using your My Porsche account, if you want to take advantage of it, you are going to have a complimentary subscription to Apple Podcasts and Apple Music if you want to use that. And then of course, if you are going to be listening to music off of your phone, that's going to be the very bottom one. As you can see here, I haven't added my phone yet, but we're going to get that a little bit later there. Coming back to our home menu, we're going to use our FM sources as an example. Really, the easiest way to find a source is going to be by clicking the little music button on the bottom left hand of our screen. As you can see, this pulls up all of our available stations. When we find something we want to listen to, all we have to do is click on it. That's going to start it playing. And say you want to favorite something, easiest way to do so is just holding your finger down on it and then selecting add to favorites, and it's going to import those directly to our favorites. Getting back out of this menu, once again, clicking that same little music button on the bottom left, and we're back at home. And from there, let's say we want to go and view our favorites. We can just click the star along the top. It's going to bring up our favorites here. And right now I only have the one in the car, but essentially like you can use that same technique, whether it be online radio stations, Sirius XM, anything like that. And you could have a variety of different sources here in your favorites. If you go to list, this is going to be the list of right now either favorites. Like I said, we only have one in here at the moment, or let's say you're listening to FM stations or Sirius. It's kind of an alternative way you can use to access all of your station selections. And then continuing along the top, we're going to have our sound system. So in this vehicle, we're going to have the Bose sound system. And from here, really, this is kind of all according to personal preference and what individual drivers like. But we're going to have surround sound right here if you want that on. Let's say you're listening to some audio files or podcasts and you like that more linear sound, you could select that. And then of course your main adjustments are going to be here, bass, treble adjustments. Let's say you want to move the kind of center of sound around in the vehicle here. You can drag and adjust the balance and fader. But for now, we're just going to leave that in the middle for us. Continuing along our selection here, I'll also mention vehicle, media, navigation, and phone. They're kind of considered the primary function inside the vehicle. You'll notice here on the left, you're going to have an alternative way to access them, kind of like a shortcut. But yeah, going into navigation, there's going to be a few things worth mentioning. So first thing is that much like your Google Maps or Apple Maps on your phone, it's going to be all touch. So we can just put our finger, move around on it, pinch, to zoom out, zoom back in. Over on the left here, we're going to have a button to recenter ourselves. For example, maybe rather than having the 3D view, we do have the satellite view up as well, but maybe we prefer the kind of north up view. Rather than heading up and following the arrow around, we can change that there. And then of course on the bottom left, you're going to have your layers function, and we're going to have a variety of different ones in here. So we're going to have 3D map at the top. You already saw what that view looked like. Satellite map, and as you can see here, it is satellite view. So depending on preference, I think it's kind of cool to have it on there, but you do have the ability to take it off. So it's just going to be your kind of standard road map. And then range, that's a cool little feature right here. You can't see it right now, but for example, if I were to zoom out far enough, you're going to have this big blue border right here. And that's going to be showing you kind of where the car's estimating that you can get to on your current range. And yeah, as you can see, depending where you're going, so heading east this way, you're going to be going on flat roads into the prairies, versus if you're heading west, going through the mountains here, you can really see where that range varies. It knows where the roads are, how far you're going to be able to get. So yeah, quite a cool feature there, especially if you're doing some route planning. And then zooming back in. With the embedded SIM card, one of the kind of primary online functions inside the vehicle, car's able to pull from Google Maps here, and you're going to see some construction work here. It's going to be letting you know if you ever need to get rerouted because of an accident, construction, kind of the most efficient or the smartest routes, and that you can go into your settings further here and program whether you want the most efficient route, kind of smart route, all of that stuff there. And then let's hit the target here just to recenter ourselves. As far as searching destinations goes, by far the easiest way to do it is going to be using the voice control button. Two ways you can use that. The first is by going to search destination, and there's going to be a little voice control symbol that you can select there. But even easier, on the far left hand side of your steering wheel, you're going to have a voice control button there. To use that, make sure you're just tapping it once, letting go right away. That's going to access the actual Porsche voice control on the side of the vehicle. If you're holding it, if you're using Apple CarPlay, it's going to be bringing up Siri instead, and you're not going to be using the vehicle's nav. Instead, you'll be using your Google or Apple Maps through Apple CarPlay. And of course, that would only work if you're actually connected to Apple CarPlay at the time. So as an example, I'm going to hit our voice control button. Take me to Porsche Center, Calgary.
Porsche Center, Calgary in Calgary. Starting route guidance.
And there you go. That's all there is to it. The easiest way to search up destinations. And right now this is going to be looking a little bit funky just because we're already at the destination when I searched it. We're just sitting inside the showroom right now. So all I'm going to do is say stop here and just going to stop the instructions so they're not interrupting the drive, or in this case our video here. If you're doing a manual search, the way you do that is going to search for destination here, and may as well take advantage of the embedded SIM card inside the vehicle. So we're just going to select the Google search on the right. It's going to make things a whole lot easier. And then, yeah, depending where you're going, whether it's just like an address of a family member, or you're looking up a new restaurant or anything like that, you're just going to be able to type in either the address or the name right here, hit OK on the bottom right, and away the search will take you. Google online search right there. Your recent searches right here. And as you can see, they're kind of auto-filled down here. You're also going to have a main home and work address you can put in there if you want. Going to your favorites, these are going to be all your starred favorites. Some of these are going to be the same as our recent destinations. To the right of this, and very important here, is going to be charging stations. Let's give this a second to load in, and you're going to have a few different ways you can use this. So the first one is going to be the Porsche charging service. Let's click into this. This is going to be referring to all Electrify Canada stations where you can actually take advantage of your complimentary charging. Right now, we don't have anything near enough in our area, so we're going to ignore that and we're going to scroll through here to all the stations. You can see one here, for example. This is one that we have in the back of our lot. We're going to have a 30 kilowatt charger that's available here. And why this is important: for one, as an electric vehicle, you obviously need to know where you're able to charge the car. And two, when you program a charging destination into your navigation, the vehicle knows you're going to a charger and it's going to start preheating your battery to the optimal 30 to 35 degrees Celsius for fast charging. And yes, but that's important, especially in the winter. So if it's minus 20, minus 30, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the fast charging just because the battery can't get charged that fast when it's really cold. So if you go ahead and pre-program your destination into here, your battery is going to start warming up and kind of going towards that optimal temperature by 1 degree per minute. And then also on these menus here, you're going to be able to see what kind of chargers you're looking at. So the one we have in the back here is a 30 kilowatts charger. I mean, it's going to be faster than your AC charger that you have at home that takes approximately 9.5 hours to charge your vehicle. But it's not going to be as fast as, let's say, like a 150 kilowatt charger or the 350 kilowatt chargers that you have at some of the Electrify Canada stations. And then scrolling through here, you'll see you have a variety of other ones that you can see coming here. This is going to be the Electrify Canada station that we have here in Calgary. So it's not too close to the dealership. It's quite far, which is why it didn't come up in the other one. But if we were to select this, for example,
the route is being calculated.
It's going to calculate our route, and our battery is going to start preheating for fast charging.
Turn right.
There we go. Just in case you couldn't hear me there while the navigation was talking, now that we have this programmed in, it's going to give us kind of our estimated charge at arrival, how many kilometers, minutes away it is. And like I said, that way we're just able to optimize our fast charging time period by preheating that battery. Then up top here, we're just going to say stop, and we're going to continue on through here. Besides your charging destinations, you're going to have a few other just points of interest that you can search up. Parking spots, this is going to be yes, Porsche centers. And then if you click the three little dots here, you're going to be able to narrow it down a little bit more. So restaurants, for example, hotels, gas stations. Of course, in this vehicle, you're not going to need a gas station, but you can kind of divvy it up by category right here. Let's just go back to our main menu here. And we're going to go back home again here. That's essentially all your navigation functions.